Well, good evening, folks. Brian here. Oh my gosh. Saturday, December 31st, 12:01 a.m., 2022 on our planet. Time flies, eh? So I really don't have anything out of the ordinary to report on our planet this evening, so I thought I'd take this time to have a little talk. Now, I did my own Facebook analytics count on a few things for the first 4 weeks of December, and I found out that there were well over 30,000 views of my videos. Over 6,310 likes, more now. This is for the first 4 weeks, and then 1,840 shares of my videos, and I think that's just awesome. Please continue to do so and spread the word of what's coming. Let's grow our family together worldwide, shall we? So, have you had your booster yet? Every day, folks, okay? Some berries, some microgreens. Build your immune system naturally. Anyway, are we ready for 2023? And who are you going to follow for guidance and wisdom? So this is not about competitions. I find that for the most part just childish and immature. A lot of what I see going on out there in YouTube land. It's not about challenging others about what you think is correct and right, and what you think the other guy is incorrect. Lies, frauds, calling people out frauds is without really explaining how they were a fraud. For me, when I find things, I simply spread it out on the table for you to look at, and you can pick what you want and do your own follow-up, put it in your back pocket, or just leave it all there. It's up to you. Perhaps the one thing I hate more than anything else in life is a liar. Can't stand him. Neither does he. Remember that. So again, I just simply want to state what I find, my observations. And if I think you should know these things, I'll present them to you. Your beliefs and your thoughts are yours, free unto yourselves. Most have some critical thinking. Very few, if you're aged like myself, have acquired some wisdom over the years. We're here because we're free from the constraint of the mainstream and the government who wants to keep us tied down, caged down with their lies and deceit and orchestrated distractions. I don't think there's too many of us, but hopefully more will awaken. For others, your thoughts and what you want to believe become your words and your actions. But some of you, it's habitual, obsessive. You form your little own groups. You look for false images to present, to get people to follow you, and you bring them down the wrong path. You're impatient. You don't want to wait to see such things as Nibiru. You also don't realize, or you don't want to prepare yourself for the beginning of sorrows and the birthing pains first, before you see Nibiru. If you realize Nibiru may be wormwood. For the most, I save you the embarrassment and I don't identify you. But you just continue to sit in front of that warm, comfort, cozy computer screen of yours and you look for your images to post in your Facebook groups. And to satisfy your own impatient beliefs. There's a lot of you out there, man. There are. And again, another reasons why I don't accept being invited to all these groups. So anyway, we need to prepare for other things, more important. We need to prepare for those beginnings of the sorrows and the earth pains, which in my opinion are only just beginning to manifest. I think we're really going to get into it starting next year and the consecutive years. A lot of us are a lot of you are too busy in your daily lives, in your work and your kids, and you come home, you're too tired, you're too frustrated, you can't concentrate and really focus on what's going on in our world. And I understand that. And unfortunately, a lot of people, even when things start happening, are still not going to wake up. But there's one very, very important thing I want to raise. And I raise it alongside with Mr. Ben Davidson. I'll just give my own meaning. Now again, I don't have to like a YouTuber to agree with some of what that YouTuber will post, right? Ben could be the son I never had. Oh my God. Anyway, as Ben wrote and stated, that when things begin to happen, every trauma you have will surface. And this is true for most people. And he has to be a brave person to state these things. Perhaps about himself, maybe. If you don't address these emotions, it's really going to drag you down. As he says, it doesn't matter how much you've prepared. It's just like if you're not prepared spiritually, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? But Brian Gunderson's take on it is you need to address these buried traumas, these emotions, especially with your kids, before shit hits the fan. Deal with them now, get them resolved, and kick them out the door. Don't bring them with you. Empty the baggage, doesn't matter how much it hurts. Deal with it now, especially if it involves your children. Because down the road, as life gets really, really rough, and as you age and become a dusty old bag of bones like me, you are going to need your children to help you, and in turn, you will help them with your wisdom. And you need to start building them now, their character, their strength. So on that, I agree with Mr. Davidson wholeheartedly. I just say you need to do it way, way before. I think with the increase of cosmic radiation is really affecting our psyche and emotions, I think. That's why when he made that first video, and I gave a very respectful comment on his video, and I garnered more likes than anybody else ever on any of his YouTubers. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying the minds are in agreement. I'm going to stick with this for a moment. If you have children, you gotta start building them strong now, because they're gonna need you now. You're gonna need them later. So you gotta build them practically. You gotta teach them things, life skills. And if you're a religious person, it doesn't matter what's religion. And it scares the shit out of some kids, but you know what? You got to teach them spiritually. They're going to see things that, a lot of adults who are not spiritually awake are going to see things. They're going to be pissing their pants. Now, someone asked me, one moment. Someone asked me if I was going to take on Ben. Why? Why? We each are presenting things that we feel humanity needs to know. And although I disagree with most of what he puts out, he is putting out some very critical information that I agree with 100%. There'd be no competition. Mr. Davidson may be very well versed, very well spoken, very well studied, a speed reader and all that, but he's still a very young puppy. And I don't say that to be disrespectful. I have a 14-year-old autistic daughter who's on the higher end of the spectrum. She was reading books when she was in kindergarten. She was speed reading books when she was in grade 1. And in grade 2 and every subsequent year, she led all her schools in book reading clubs. I would take her to a bookstore and buy her books, the equivalent of 1,000 pages, and she would read them all in a weekend. And Daddy, I need more books. When she was 3 years old, she knew the names of all the planets. They're both young, but they don't have any aged wisdom yet, or self-control over their emotions. And when you're dealing with a daughter with autism and other mental health issues, you need a lot of self-control. Anyway, Mr. Davidson seems to be bringing some of his emotions to the forefront, and I have no problem in bringing some of mine, and you have to be a brave person to do so. But no, I'm not going to take on Mr. Ben Davidson. I would much rather take on some other people. One thing I hate more than anything else in the world is a liar. I can't stand him. When I find facts, I lay them out and I present them to you. You can take them and do your own investigation, or just leave them on the table. It's up to you. I don't twist your arm. I don't try and steer you one way or the other. It takes a lot of composure and controlling your emotions, especially when you know there's a lot of bad influential cosmic radiation coming in. So now the deal with some fear porn out there. That's you. Get you in a minute. Now, I said it when I started with a spiritual awakening, and still do. I was watching another YouTuber. That YouTuber is with us in our group. And I accept everybody as long as you're polite and respectful. If you ever disrespect anybody, I'll give you a swift kick in the ass and send you flying over Ben Davidson's galactic current sheet in the face of one of his supernovas. Not a micronova, the big one. I watched a video and he went on about Bible tumpers. Bible tumpers. Maybe one day you'll see some light. Maybe you'll change your ways. Maybe. Now, as for the other one, fear porn, folks. You got to stay away from fear porn. I watched one of your videos last year. You said all of Canada has to evacuate immediately because the following year, that following year being right now, would be completely covered in ice. Buddy, there's 38.25 million people in Canada right now. On your little island further north of us, you have 67 million people. And you were one of them, whining and complaining last night. Inside your flat, wearing your scarf and sweater and ski pants inside your home, whining and complaining how it was -1. Buddy, up here in Canada, it's down to -40. All right? Don't worry about us. We're all still here. We haven't gone anywhere. We haven't evacuated anywhere. Last solar minimum in 2007, 2008, I was walking on 6 inches thick of ice on our roadways. Don't worry about us. You worry about yourself. Whiner. Sorry, folks, if you have any kids watching. I hate fear porn, bullshit, liars. I'll take them on. So, if I find lies, I simply lay it out. Tell the truth. If your name's attached to that truth, I'll attach your name to it. Jean Barry Bairds of the Mapstory Observatory. Evacuate Canada, all of us. Ooh. So that's about it. I could go on and on and on. I'm going to save it for the new year. So go on, keep on posting your pictures from Star Wars videos seeing this Nibiru coming in. If I see it's a lie, I'll present it as a lie. Simple as that. And again, I thank you very much for all those views, likes, and shares. If you feel I am worth following, continue to spread the word, including to my YouTube channel. I'm not looking to be in a competition with anyone else. You know what? There's no way in hell I'm going to catch up to people like Mr. Ben Davidson, 650,000 subscribers, because we ain't going to be around by that time. I said I'm here to look out for the signs over the next 2 to 3 years, not the end time signs. Yeah, a lot of us are probably going to be there, but I'm more concerned about what's going to be happening between now and then, and solar maximum the year after. Don't be complacent, hiding behind your computer screen, thinking we have until 2046 before things happen. Because, as he says, the Alpha and the Omega, as well as the author and the finisher, other things must first come to pass before we really get into it. So wake up, folks. See you tomorrow.